Happy Monday, everybody. I am Mel Barrett, and look who's back.
Again. Can you believe it?
I know.
It's so nice to
miss
be back.
you.
I missed you personally, but I'm, as you know, very good at not working, a thing that you are not good at not doing.
True.
And when I am on vacation, I mean, I definitely was up, I stayed on top of all the hot goss and everything, of course, because that's fun. But I wasn't I wasn't tempted to jump on. Not because I don't love you or want to be with you, but because I was really enjoying my time with my fam. You know how it is.
Yeah, we had a good time when we weren't talking about Lindsay Clancy's case.
Yes.
So you didn't miss much there, but Jimmy and I had a good show. Emily and I had a great show. Sarah and I had a good show. Ellen and I had a good show.
Amazing.
And then I went over and did Maggie's new show too. Which
I know. I saw everything you did.
You did.
I'm really glad we have an equitable pay split where you get paid more for the stuff you do by yourself, because otherwise I'd feel very guilty, but I don't.
Did you happen to watch the stream with Jimmy? Because it was a little off the rails.
I caught a lot of it. Yeah, I haven't seen all of it yet, but I caught a lot of it.
We caused trouble. We said a lot of things. It was a good show, though.
What do you regret saying?
No, it was just that we were a little bit dirtier than you and I normally are.
Please.
We said words like fisting and felching and things like that. That was going to be our safe word for the fundraiser that Jimmy never showed up to.
Oh, he didn't show up? Can you imagine?
He was
Jimmy?
Sleeping. Anyway, today, though, now that you're back, because I've been holding off on talking about this, I've sprinkled it in here and there. But we're going to talk about all the Turtleboy shenanigans, everything that's going on. And
okay. You mean all the Diller shenanigans?
Well, the New Jersey stuff.
Oh yeah. I love that story. I've done so much research.
Okay, good. Because that's what we're mostly talking about. Although I did pull a clip from the hearing with Diller, between Diller and Rosenberg. Rosenberg just took it to Diller and I loved it. So we're going to talk about that briefly. I don't think we're going to get into too much unless you just want to touch on it about the Farwell case. Sandra Birch.
Them too, right?
Yeah, Falwells. Yeah. But we're going to talk about as much as we can in the next couple of hours after a very quick break.
Let's do it.
Good morning, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie, allegedly. I'm Smile.
Happy Monday, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie. Happy gay summer, Mel.
Happy hump day, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
I'm not humping anybody. I'm Rebecca Lavoie.
Happy Saturday, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
Oh, no.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie, and my mic is muted.
Good morning, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie, and that's Briscoe.
And welcome to Something's Off, a true crime podcast where we swat the haters aside with our astute takes and humor and joy. And
the joylessness
I don't give
of those
a fucking
people. Hags.
You hear it first in the break in the story. One little crack and the whole thing gets wary. A witness swears but the timeline bends. A smile too smooth and the trail just ends. Mel Barrett says, hold up, look again. Rebecca Lavoie follows every thread. If it feels too neat, then it's not the truth. There's a shadow line running through the room. Something's off, something's off. You can feel it in the bones. Something's off, something's off. When the facts won't come home. Something's off, something's off. And the case won't stay in place. Something's off. We're the ones who chase.
We're gonna go members only.
Yeah, we're the ones who chase. Wait, did that witness just blink 3 times? Something's off. Something's off.
Hags.
I have to bleep it. I meant to bleep it before we went on this morning and I totally forgot.
That's all right. We're doing our best to be a little bit less sweary because, I've done. Everyone says it pushes you down in the algorithm, and I trust it. If Jolene says it, I trust
Jolene
it.
says it.
Trust in Jolene.
Trust in Jolene. She's been on a tear this week.
What do you think I was watching just before we started doing it? I was eating my waffles.
Last night? You watched the one from last night?
I started it last night, and then I had to go to bed because I'm a grown-up who sleeps. Can I show you something super fun and hot? I'm sure you've seen it.
Hello. Yes.
Hello.
Who's
who
the
went
other
to a
guy?
Red Sox game tomorrow. That's Damon Seligson.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Seligson was so attractive. He doesn't come off that way in court.
I'm telling you, take these guys out of their suits and it's like
These two. They're cuties.
I take back everything I said about you not being potentially the right lawyer for that defamation stuff, Seligson. I take it back.
And he has a little gap like
or
me.
whatever it is I said about him. But I don't remember. I think one hearing I said he just seemed unprepared. I completely take it all back.
It was the defamation case.
Yeah.
He wasn't prepared for that. But he's cute.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, he's cute.
Hundo. All right. Sorry. Just had to.
No worries. Thanks everybody for being here. And Rebecca's back, and it's 2 times today. We're doing our cross roast tonight, and boy, I have a doozy for you.
Oh no, should I be worried?
Yeah. Yeah, you should.
Oh no.
So if you're not a member, please become a member. The lowest level is $2.99. You get all the cross roasts for $2.99. If you want to go up to the $5.99, you get access to our pop culture streams and the other stuff that we do for members. We're still working out membership strategies because it's weird to have 2 tier. It's weird to have a second tier on YouTube, I think.
I think so too. I feel like, at some point we might just like do a big banger for those folks and then let them go down to the $2.99.
Banger.
I don't know. We're
gonna do a big bang. We're gonna go figure it out.
We've also linked our all of our tip links in the comments. It's pinned there. You can Cash App us, Venmo us, PayPal us if you like the work we do and if you're glad that I'm back.
Tip your server.
Tip your server. It's a big week for me this week. I'm like, I'm all over the place. I just got back from my vacation in Plum Island, and this week, Saturday, my son is getting married, which is
wild. That is wild.
I know.
It's crazy that you have a kid old enough to get married.
I don't know if he's old enough to get married. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right. I honestly don't think people should get married until they're in their 40s.
I don't disagree with that. I mean, I was divorced. Was married for the first time for 8 years, and I got divorced when I was in my mid. And I felt like very ready to be married in my mid 30s in a way I didn't in my mid 20s. But my son and his wonderful fiance Maya have known each other since they were 3, and they've been together for a really long time. And I got to say, as couples go, if anyone's going to be fine getting married young, I would say the 2 of them are going to be completely fine. So
they're all right. Well, the kids are all right, I guess.
Yep.
I know that's really big news. So Rebecca's going to be with us today, and then we'll work out our schedule, see if she can do any other shows this week. And then I'm going to be covering Lindsay Clancy case. So the way that I'm doing it is I am delaying for a day so that I can watch it and make sure that we're not putting anything out there that details anything that happened with these children for the most part.
You should. I don't mean to be gross, but you should brand it that way. You should be like,
I do.
But you should brand it that way in like the titles.
Oh, I see.
So if people want to see the trial without the hard stuff, like you should put that in the title. Like people need to know there's a place to watch trial stuff without the hard stuff. Because I think that would be a service for people.
Yeah, I mean, I've been detailing it in the stream, but I do think that a lot of people look at it and they see, oh, she's playing courtroom foot. Like we're going through some of the testimony, but I don't show any of the testimony that has to do with the children. I just recap that testimony. And then we mostly do. So Kevin Reddington hasn't been doing any cross-examinations either on people that are talking about the kids, which I think is super smart. So I usually focus on his cross because when he's crossing somebody, it's really important. He's letting them. I hate to use this expression.
He's letting them. Don't say it. He's letting them. He's letting them ruin themselves.
Yes, that's exactly what I know. What you want to say. Yeah. So, it's hard. It's hard. But even the other testimony is hard too. It's like. The rest of the testimony, we're talking about mental health and the struggles that women in this particular case go through. And I think that's also really difficult. We've had really, really good, what's the word I'm looking for? We've had really good chats where people are being very respectful of one another. We've had very few trolls. We've had a couple of people that desperately want to talk about the ridiculous conspiracy theories over on TikTok, and I am not.
Nope.
I'm not giving it air, you guys.
It's ghoulish. Don't
go
be
look
ghouls.
at the evidence. If you're gonna, like, do you know how many people, Rebecca, have texted me or sent me like TikToks that are just like a list of evidence that's just wrong? It's just wrong.
Well,
Like,
also, why? You're not helping anyone. Like,
the reason they're
this
doing
is
it,
not a fun mystery. This is a we know what happened, but why did it happen case. This is not a fun mystery for you to die. That's why I'm like that's why I just feel like we're really weird about the whole thing. And it is honestly, I'm sorry, I'm doing what non-conversational made. Rebecca, please mansplain something for me. Mel has tried, but it's not the same. It's why I actually get I'm becoming so much more conservative about the culture of outrage. People immediately going to a conspiracy, or people immediately being like, what that lawyer did was outrageous in a conspiracy. I'm like, no, it's not actually all that. Sometimes it's just the way it works. And sometimes you don't like it, but just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's evil. Right. And I think that mindset is what leads people to feel like everything has to be a mystery. Everything has to be a corrupt thing. And it's like, Patrick Clancy is a fucking victim in this. Lindsay Clancy is a victim of her illness. Like, don't be ghouls. Don't be ghouls.
Yeah. Ugh. I think my take on it is that it probably started with somebody who just has a very difficult time thinking that Lindsay Clancy is just that this just happened, and that they can't understand how a mother could do this. And I think that's probably what it comes down to, but that just explodes. I mean, now we got, Vinnie Politan. What the fuck is he doing?
Mainstreaming this bullshit. Oh my.
Why is he giving this any air? I don't understand.
Let me just say there's a reason I stopped going on his show.
There's no validity to it. If you want to be realistic about it, the list of evidence that goes along with that theory is just wrong. It's wrong. Like they're not even getting it right. They're hearing snippets, and someone goes, "Oh, it looks like his shoes are different," or "Oh, it looks like there was no this on the murder weapon." Blah blah blah. And I'm like, you guys aren't even paying. You aren't even watching the trial. Like, it's obvious to me you're not watching the trial. You're just like, you're probably getting clicks right now, and that's what you're going with, and that's such bullshit. But anyway, I did it. I already said it.
Someone said I was angry about it, but he debunked it. I know, but his title of his video was, is Patrick Clancy, like, he should not put even that title into the world, because what happens is people don't actually watch the links, that they don't look at the links that people post. They just see the headlines. The headline was so
Vinnie
irresponsible.
Politan thinks it. Yeah.
He should have called it, "Stop saying Patrick Clancy did it." It should have been the title of his video, if that's what he was going to do. Like, because you're just, I mean, it's like, I see the Turtleboys in hot water thing, and I saw it this morning, and I was like, I don't know if I would have written it that way, because I actually don't think he is, but it's a funny title that will probably, but the stakes, think about the stakes there. The stakes are like so low. He's not in hot water. It's going to be fine. The Patrick Clancy stakes are so high. This man is going to be walking around the world for the rest of his life, already being one of the most miserable people on the planet, and you're going to ruin the rest of his life by having people chase him around with stupid ass, irresponsible, damaging, harmful, ridiculous, disgusting theories about him being somehow involved. It's like they stipulate, she stipulated to it. Like, anyway, I'm pissed. I'm pissed.
But I mean, the prosecution isn't helping anything, because even though there is a stipulation, they are still dragging out these witnesses that don't need to relive this shit over. And the testimony that they're putting on for this case is so repetitive and so ridiculous. And they're hurting themselves too. They're so stupid. But anyway, I just want to say we missed this. But Felicia, 1977, gifted 5 memberships. Where'd you go, Felicia? Bye, Felicia. And
thank you, Felicia. Thank you,
Felicia. If you got those memberships, please say thank you, obviously, and please let us know you got one, and don't forget to renew. It's so funny. The membership numbers are hilarious to me, because one day we'll get like 100 gifted memberships, and then the next day we've lost 150, and it's because people don't renew. It's so funny to me.
I know.
No, then it's just funny to me that it's like, oh, those were all gifted and someone didn't renew. That's why the numbers are so screwy. But so if you like our content, if you want to do some members only stuff with us, we have a really good time during our Crossroads. We have a good time with all of our members only content, but Crossroads
tonight's going to be a doozy. Apparently you're going to play some video for me that I is going to really challenge my sensibilities or something?
Yeah, I think I'm going to try to force some secondhand embarrassment. I won't have to try too hard, I don't think. Yeah, this is going to be some secondhand embarrassment.
I'm worried. I'm really worried.
I don't think it's what you are expecting, which is what makes me happy. I will show you just the cover so that you know who it's between. This is tonight.
It's going to be Tufty. Tufty McTufterson, Shannon Burgess.
We got some more Dr. Wolf. We've done Dr. Wolf before, but there's more to it. Yeah. We've got Dr. Marie Russell, and we've got Shannon Burgess.
Tufty McTufterson. I love him. I
had to choose that picture because it was so ridiculous.
I love that picture. How do you, by the way, how do you have that? Okay. How do you, I mean, this is just, this is just my take. Okay. How do you have that tuft and look at yourself in the mirror every day and then not look at pictures like this and say, you know what, I should just shave it off?
Yeah. Well,
I'm telling you, both of these guys would look like super dorks if they had a big tuft in the middle of their head.
Yeah, of course. But we also have this. Hold on. Let me find this picture.
Because hubba, hubba, hubba.
You're so funny. I took a screen grab of something that I have to show you, and it came from one of our, I think maybe a new member. I can't find the picture that I'm looking for.
It's like the picture I sent you who Facebook suggested to be a friend to me, which I was always hubba, hubba, hubba.
One of our, hold on, I gotta find it. One of our, I think, newer members, or not really sure, but where did it go? Hold on, I gotta find it. No, that's not it. While you were gone, it made me think of you, and I was really happy to see it. There it is. Okay. This is one of our newer, maybe subscribers, maybe members, but I want you to look at the comment at the bottom of the screen. Ready?
Okay. Yeah. In her opening, she said the trial isn't about women's health.
Read the name.
Oh, Weddy for you, Nettie.
Yeah. How amazing. I thought of you immediately.
Why?
And
why would you think of me when you said why?
Because you always talk about how wet you get when.
No, I never. I haven't said that. I have talked about being dry for other people. Just saying.
Okay. Well, I'm
not disgusting. I'm not disgusting.
That's not disgusting.
Although I did hubba hubba this guy when he popped up on my Facebook is
Barros.
I know.
Barros.
I sent you the screenshot. I'm like, look who Facebook wants me to be friends with. Hubba hubba.
I got a really funny comment from one of my streams about Lindsay Clancy, and it was hold on, I gotta find it.
You mean not a comment about Lindsay Clancy, a comment during one of your Lindsay Clancy streams?
No, this was a comment, like a replay comment, and I don't know why, it just made me laugh so hard. Dana Maria says, you are very immature and shallow in your observations.
Well,
and I thought,
yeah,
okay, well, maybe this isn't the right place for you. And she was like, I'm just disappointed. And it's because I was Dr. God, what's her name? I can't think of it right now. Jennifer Tufts, the one who's like the main person in the civil suit. Rebecca, I don't know if you saw any of her testimony.
Is she the super young looking one?
Oh my God. Well, first of all, she looks ill now compared to what she looked like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
But she had these weird responses when the prosecution would ask her a question about meds and like ask her to clarify something. She would giggle, or she would go, yes. Like she was just like a valley girl, and I was kind of making fun of her. And I'm assuming that's what this person was talking about. But I just thought, are you kidding me? Like, you're going to leave that? Okay. I mean, maybe they're a troll. I just thought it was hilarious.
I think it's fine for people to not like what we're doing. I'm fine with it.
Totally. I was like, you can move on. It's fine.
Although I do find like, I get like people sometimes are like, they're very disappointed in me because I don't love Jessica. Like they're just disappointed in me. It always has to do with Jessica Machado. I'm so disappointed in you. And I'm like,
that was the follow-up comment was, she was like, I said, maybe this is the wrong channel for you or whatever. And I said, thanks for the input. Maybe this is the wrong place for you. And she said, I'm just really disappointed in you. And I was like, okay. Okay.
I get disappointment a lot when I sort of say things about Machado, but no one was disappointed in me back in like October or whatever it was when I responded to this.
Wait, I
She
can't see
said,
it. What does it
I'll
say?
read it to you. October 18th, 2025. We have made a critical error in choosing our weekend destination in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. The person who just made my coffee is wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt, and there's a sign that says books, not bullets. And my table has QR codes for abortion. And I just responded, I'm sorry you were forced to share oxygen with people who don't share your worldview, right? And it's like, you know, I am fine with you disagreeing with whatever, but like, yeah, I mean, you're going to be in the world with people who are different than you, right? And like,
Right.
you know, no one was disappointed at me then. No one was disappointed at me when I pointed out her bigotry on the readathon a year and a half ago. There's no disappointment back then.
Yeah, you were one of the first people to start calling out her bad behavior, and I actually talked to Jimmy about this in our That's So Gay stream, because I was like, because I wanted to talk to him a little bit about his, you know, valid truth journey. That he
so
put
good,
out.
so funny,
so good. It's so funny. And I was like, you know, a lot of people, like, especially, I think I mentioned you that we're calling her out. So what was it? What was it that you guys all like kind of stuck with? And he was like, I take a really long time. I want to believe people are good people. And I can even parse out, you know, when she's saying stupid things like that. Because I talked to her in real life and she seemed like good people. He really, obviously the breaking point for him was when she said that he's just alone and gay.
That was, I think his breaking point was earlier, but that was his breaking point to talking about it publicly.
Yeah. So anyway, her channel is crazy right now. Have you been seeing any of the footage of like moons?
Are you kidding? Of course I have.
I
can't watch it. I've been watching it through Jolene.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
she is bleeding subscribers right now.
People, I just want to say for the record, people don't know how to do the math. If somebody goes from 9.66 to 9.65, that's not 100, that's 10.
Oh, I think I made that mistake the other day too.
Everybody does. I'm like, guys, it's 10. Relax. It's 10.
It's 10. It's 10.
But also it's bad enough to be going down without having to just be bad at math. It's 10. It's 10.
Yeah.
It's not 5.
Yeah.
Not 100. But yeah, he's disappointed. I get this so often.
Non-conversational said, when people ask me for my opinion of Rebecca, I have one word: disappointed.
Disappointed. You know that meme with the He-Man? Disappointed.
Oh, so what else? So as for the schedule, we're not sure what. Oh, yeah,
back to the moon thing.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I had no desire to stream when I was on vacation, but I swear to God, I almost wrote in and said, "Can I co-host one of these shows one of these days?"
Oh, when I saw the DMs that they sent to, was it Kate Peter? Yeah, Kate Peter put out the DM that they sent.
I think that's what made me think I wanted to.
I was like, "Ooh, am I going to get one of those DMs too? Am I going to get one? Because if I get one, I'm going on. I'm going on.
I would 100% say yes.
I was
100%.
waiting. I was like, because I've mentioned it before. I've mentioned it several times on this show and on the readathon. I'm like, if we had an opportunity to sit in a room together and talk about it, I would totally do it. And so I'm still waiting. But I'm also waiting on Kelly Dever. I'm also waiting on, who was the other one? Oh, well, we know that Lindsay Stacchini is like in a position where she can't really come on people's shows.
Yeah.
But I do have a bunch of people in our audience are talking to Jolene and trying to get her to come on our show just to do an interview, not a collab, just an interview.
If we do a call-in show, maybe she'll call in, Lindsay.
Maybe. Oh yeah, that's right.
The other Emily says the Prison Misty stuff is actually terrifying. It is so bad. It's so
sick. It's really sick.
And it's funny because Jimmy was alluding to this. He had a joke that he made beforehand, which was everybody should have a Prison Misty. And it was definitely a joke. Like, it was definitely like, and I got it immediately. It's like, everybody should have somebody that's so obsessed that they would kill for you. Like, it was a joke. Right. Mm-hmm. And then he had to come out and say, like, this is wrong and this is bad. It's so, I listened to it through Jolene. I listened to her whole like thing. The way her voice changes inflections is terrifying. And when she talks about, Even when she says, I know I fall too hard in love with streamers. I fell so in love. I'm like, don't let me.
That's a really
scares me.
unhealthy parasocial.
It scares me.
Liz Miz says, I don't think Jess likes Mel since she misgendered her. I'm going to disagree with you on that one. No, I'm going to disagree with you on that one. I think she does. I was saying this to Jimmy the other day. When she'll be like Rebecca, and then she'll be like Mel. She says my name with a lot of softness, and I really think that Jess might have a little bit of a cloner for me.
I don't think she actually says things that are that bad about me either. It's like for some reason she kind of avoids. I think she goes for you because she's like avoiding saying something about me, and I don't know why.
She's scared. She's scared of you.
Scared of what?
Your big brain. That's what she's scared of. Hey, MAGA Barbie, you had to change your name. Why? I had to change my name so I wasn't controversial in the Bear live stream chat. Oh my God.
Were you watching the Bears?
Ridiculous.
Did you guys see
ridiculous.
Did you see the Bears that on the did I talk about this on the Alaska? Oh, I did at the Alaska stream that one of the bears killed another bear live on camera.
Yeah. Well, I sent the MAGA Barbie stream to you. Because I was like, Rebecca's gonna friggin' love this, and it's so amazing to watch. I love the one that that MAGA Barbie posted that was like the bear falling in the little waterfall. He fell. Oh my God! The problem is that I can sit there and just stare at it for hours.
It's like me with the panda cams at the National Zoo. Oh my God! The panda cams are run by volunteers. So dumb. The panda cams are run by the best volunteers in the world because, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. I know I'm going to sneeze.
God bless you. Usually that stops someone from sneezing when you say that.
It's not me.
The panda cams, I can sit for hours and watch them. They are the dumbest, funniest creatures on the planet, and I love them so much.
Who's a better camera operator? It's going to be really hard. I can't decide. The panda cam operators, because they know what to turn to, and it's not always live. Sometimes it's automated, and then during the day, sometimes there are actually people there who like move the cameras around. So when I'm talking about the live panda cam operators, who's better, them or the camera operator who, in hearings where Jen McCabe and the McAlbert showed up and they weren't even parties to the case, kept singing to them? Like, which one was better?
I mean, I have to say the latter, just because that camera operator knew the assignment and did a bang up job. So
yeah, I love the National Zoo.
I do too. And let's see.
I'm going to drop the link so folks want to check it. Don't leave our show for this, please. But you might want to go ahead and check this out when you.
See, non-conversational just was said. Don't bring up the panda cams later. See you guys on replay. No, stay with us. We're better than fluffy panda butts. Come on.
It was sad when we didn't have the pandas for a little while. I understand diplomacy is part of it and all that stuff, but like,
Tara, I have to say something. Tara has been with me all week since you've been gone, and I have to say Tara has become one of my favorite people in our chat. I'm so happy to see her. Yeah, I love her so much. She's so great. She's so kind. She's so funny, and I just want to call her out because she's lovely. But she said cloner.
Is that her? She's cute too.
Yeah, that's Tara. I always learn so many new things here. Wait, Mel, are you a lesbian? Yes, Tara. Here I come, coming out again. I am a lesbian. Tara the other day was so funny. Lindsay popped in to like deliver coffee, and I was like, "Oh, thanks, babe," and we just kissed because I just didn't think about it. I just was like, "Oh, that's what I do," you know. And Tara immediately, I know, right? Tara immediately was like, "I love lesbians," and I was like, "I love you, Tara. You're so funny." Okay, we really should probably. We're half an hour into our stream. We should probably start talking about stuff. Oh, and Lady Harlot too.
Isn't that what we're doing?
Lady Harlot, we are. Lady Harlot's sort of a newer person, I think. Definitely a member, but I've been noticing Lady Harlot a lot more because when I'm on my own, I have a tendency to like really engage with the chat because you're not here. And Lady Harlot is another one. Tara and Lady Harlot have been like in all the streams. They've been like keeping everything light with like really respectful comments, but also like really funny comments. And so I just want to also highlight Lady Harlot. Love you both. They're just good people. I'm happy they're here.
Cindy Boxer, my mom and I watched the panda cams the night my dad went into hospice and died. We needed them hard. I'm so sorry about your dad, but I'm glad that you found the panda cams. It's live. I just checked from 7 to 7 now, and then they play replays all night.
Amazing.
Which, by the way, the replay crew of Pandacam. You have a fan on?
Yeah. Can you hear it?
Yeah, a little bit.
One of our lovely listeners got me the Apple earbuds that I desperately needed because mine kept failing me. But they are noise canceling, and I can't hear the fans that are blowing in my face.
You know how to undo the noise canceling part, right?
I do, but I kind of like it.
Yeah,
it's really nice,
I wore those to see the Odyssey with the noise canceling on, and it was still too loud.
They make me feel a little crazy though, because when it's so loud and then I put them in and it's just in silence and it's so makes me feel crazy.
One thing I do want to thank, somebody sent me something. They didn't want to be named. They sent me something really great from my Amazon list. I just want to see you. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
I have a dumb tweet to share.
Okay.
You ready for it?
Yeah.
Okay, this is our dumb tweet of the week. Maybe of the day. We'll figure it out.
I had one too.
Yeah. So this is from our well, I don't know what to call her, but Mama Llama over at the Foreskins. This should concern every citizen of Norfolk County. There's a reason Karen Reed, Alan Jackson, and David Unetti, Boston Defender, are so desperate to see Adam Deitch in the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office, despite the fact that none of them even live in Norfolk County. They, all caps, are the corruption. And they want to make sure, damn sure, the rest of us never learn more than we already know.
Where does Carrie live?
Carrie?
Carrie Mama Llama. I don't think she lives in Norfolk County.
She doesn't live in Norfolk County either. And also, Adam Deitch does live in Norfolk County. He moved there just to run for this office.
That's right.
We had a really good fundraiser. Emily C. raised over $10,000 for
I saw. So great.
It was pretty great. I was very happy. I was happy to be involved. I got to meet Sam Beningo, who I'm a fan of.
I saw you on the stream with Sam. I'm a fan of hers too. I've become a fan. As much as I am not like a person who's into like the body language interpretation, the sort of like armchair diagnosing of psychological stuff. Like, she's very good. She's very good at her show, and she's very funny. Yes. And as long as she stays away from Loophole, who I think is a bad person.
Which I think she is doing. You know, one of the reasons
it's her business if she wants to be friends with someone, but I don't like watching him, so I wouldn't watch if he's on, is what I'm saying.
I'll say this. One of the reasons why I became an even bigger fan of Sam is because of the way she handled that moment with him live. Because he was like, well, what would you, he had just said it. He had just said, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Loophole Lawyer was dropping the N-word, but he was saying it the full word when he and Sam were talking about the Michael Proctor messages and Sean Good messages. And she was shocked in the moment. And then he was like, well, what would you do if like one of your really good friends said it? And she was like, I wouldn't be friends with them anymore. And then they continued on with the stream and she cut off ties. And so for the simple fact that she said what she would do and she did what she said, I just had so much respect for her in that moment, because I think most people would think, oh my God, what about the audience? What about my friend? What about...
Oh, not me.
No, some people would though. And Sam didn't. Sam was like, I wouldn't be friends with them anymore. I'd cut it off. And she did. And so because of that, I'm a big fan of hers. I was sad that I had to jump off the fundraiser because Boozy Beauty came on right after me. And I did text Em and I was like, hey, thanks for having me on. It was great to meet Sam and Mizzy, and I'm really sad I missed Boozy. And she's like, well, we just need Rebecca and you and Corey Hopkins and those two. And that's like the dream team panel. And so I think we're going to try to put that together.
I would love that.
You, me, Emily, Sam Beningo, Boozy Beauty, and Corey Hopkins.
I would love that. I had a nice Twitter DM with somebody that I think is going to come guest on the show that I think people would be very excited to see on our show.
I'm very excited.
I'll just give a clue. It's somebody else. There's an interview that I did with this person on our channel right now. So they said they'd be interested in coming on. And then of course we have to book Shark Guy. Got to get Shark Guy to come on. I might just tape something with him and like put it on as a video. Like
I think you should.
I think I will. I have a dumb tweet.
Unfortunately, no one's going to convince me to not like sharks. Sorry.
I know. It's okay.
It's not going to happen.
I've got this one. I tweeted this. One of the best parts of my vacation.
I'm so glad. Okay.
Is that I cleaned and emptied the dishwasher exactly one time. The kids get it, man. So you know that onion story that's like Mom on vacation gets to do dishes closer to the ocean or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I remember sharing that with my kids when they were little, and like they're great. They're very helpful. They're great. And like I literally I did it one time, and then I did it when we were leaving the house and Kevin and I were the only ones there. That was it. It was wonderful. And then this person tweeted back, as a woman, why would you ever complain about cleaning for your family?
God. Oh, the internal misogyny.
Oh, that's just external misogyny. I'm sorry. You can be a woman and just be a misogynist and have it be external. That's just external misogyny. I love it. I love it so much. So funny.
Oh my God, these people. And then, but not only did they say that, they also doubled down. They just kept going. So
I know.
To me, it's probably just a dude who's made a burner. Like
no, you would be amazed. You'd be amazed. Like the trad wife culture is hard.
No. God. Okay. Let's get into talking about some of the stuff we're going to talk about, the actual stuff. Some people think that account is a loophole burner. Interesting.
Wouldn't be surprised. Anybody who's trolling me could be.
Yeah. All right. So we have some Aiden stuff to talk about here.
Okay.
Some of it's it's not complicated. I think let's start with the hearing that happened, the status hearing that happened within the wrongful death case. Mm-hmm. And to keep in mind for the audience, Aiden is not a party in that case. He is a non-party, just like Michael Proctor is, just like Julie Albert is, just like all these other people who have not shown up for depositions, or who, like, for instance, Colin Albert, who did a deposition for the prosecution, and then the plaintiffs, and then the plaintiffs accused the other side of not showing up for that deposition. Diller is taking the same tact with this. And it's really difficult for me to understand why the judge doesn't see this as disingenuous. And if he doesn't see it, I think it's because he doesn't want to see it. And that part really bothers me. So what we're going to watch really quickly, this actually this isn't about Aiden in this quick clip that I'm about to play. This is just a moment where Rosenberg from Karen Reed's team kind of takes it to Diller, because he's doing the thing. He's playing, it's lawfare, and he's playing games. And I think in this moment, I really expected the judge to be on Rosenberg's side. And when he wasn't necessarily, I was like, I don't understand this judge. I don't understand why he allows for this kind of behavior, but not from the other side sometimes. So I want to play this really quick clip. This is about the interlocutory. I can never say that word.
Interlocutory.
Yeah, thank you. For the expert witnesses. So they should have, each side, all the sides should have given a list of their expert witnesses, in a good time frame. And I guess Karen's team did it right off the bat because they know who their witnesses are going to be. But Diller still hasn't, and the deadline is approaching. And this exchange is
didn't one of the deadlines pass? Like he was supposed to file something, he was supposed to serve people, but he passed. Is that deadline or something?
Yeah, let's play this out so we can hear it, and we can discuss on the other side. And then we can also play a brief clip of how they're handling some of this Aiden stuff, which is just ludicrous to me. But okay, here we go. This is the status hearing. Let me boost the volume. You might want to turn your earbud volume down, Rebecca, because this gets really loud if we boost it, which I've discovered this week. Okay, so this is a status hearing that happened this last week about what's happening. So they're talking about, they went over all the depositions that they've done, which sounds like Karen Reed's team is on top of it. I think the restaurants are on top of it. The plaintiffs are not on top of it. And they have until the 17th to get all these things done. It sounds to me like Gilday, because they're all talking to one another, is going to be a little bit more lenient with the deadline, so they can do some sort of cleanup depositions afterward. But now we're getting into the expert witness testimony, or deposition. So this is very interesting. Let's watch it.
I assume there were expert interrogatories. I actually don't believe there were expert interrogatories from the plaintiff. We, for Miss Reed, certainly served expert interrogatories.
Okay, so if
Watch
there are
Diller.
expert interrogatories propounded, presumably the answers would have identified some experts. Am I correct?
Well,
Why
I
does his
can,
face look like that?
as to the plaintiff's answer to our.
What'd you say?
Why does Diller's face look like this?
Because he doesn't know what he's doing. And the thing that
He missed
bothers
the
me,
interrogatory deadline? That's like,
yeah. And here's the thing that bothers me about all this is that the judge asked the question and Diller should have answered it, but Rosenberg fills the space because Diller's just staring off into space. And I wish that Rosenberg would just let him. Yeah, what was the thing you said?
let him
before?
hurt himself.
Thank you. But he doesn't. He keeps like filling the space, and I'm like, just let him. That's
Give
a
him-
question
Yes.
to
let him
Diller,
pull
and
his own
Diller's
rope.
just sitting there like with his thumb up his ass.
Yeah.
First, they objected that it was premature when it was served, and I believe indicated that they would amend that, but have not done so yet.
Okay. All right.
I know we are.
Can you
I didn't
pause
hear
for a
that. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, Your Honor, we also propounded expert interrogatories, and I believe the
Can you pause?
response is similar to what.
I just want to just tell people interrogatories are written questions that you send to people in a civil case. You basically send them a list of questions that they answer in writing, provide documents, etc. It's like, send me all your bank statements from X, Y, and Z and provide an explanation as to why you did X, Y, or Z. And the question's usually limited to a certain number and you can actually break them down into parts, all that stuff. But it's an important part of the process. It's like
The idea, though, that Diller is just sitting there when the judge has asked a question and Rosenberg is directing this sort of accusation at him and he just sits there and doesn't respond until the judge asks him to is weird.
yeah, he's playing tortoise or he's just like hiding in his little shell, you know?
Yeah, he keeps doing it. He gets uncomfortable. Here we go.
Attorney Rosenberg just had said from the plaintiff.
Okay. Well, I mean, the tracking order doesn't talk about expert disclosures. Tracking order talks about discovery and discovery of experts, the identity, etc., is not only allowed, but it's required responses.
And
Yeah, and Your Honor, if that from our perspective, from Ms. Reed's perspective, if your direction is that supplementation to an already served interrogatory should happen by the close of discovery, that's fine with us.
Why is Diller not responding?
For C.F. McCarthy's,
Okay.
Your Honor, I would say that decisions relative to experts on our part may go hand in hand with the defendants, but also need to go hand in hand with the completion of discovery. So I would say that we're more than happy to, of course, timely disclose and expert interrogatories to all parties, and certainly intend to. But that is still in process for us.
Just to be clear, Your Honor, I said that because, as I said, the plaintiffs have not served an expert interrogatory on the defendants.
Okay, Diller.
So the defendants don't have an interrogatory
He's
answer
shopping.
to
It's
supplement.
like he's shopping.
Only the plaintiffs do. And they have multiple ones.
Oh, he wants to.
We'll serve additional interrogatories.
Well, Your Honor, that it's too late to serve additional interrogatories in accordance with the current discovery deadline.
I believe that the current discovery deadline is the 17th of August.
Right, but that's not to serve discovery. That's for discovery to be completed.
I'll let you folks debate all that offline, okay?
See, okay, in this situation, it seems to me Rosenberg is right. So why is the judge not stepping in and being like, "You're right. What do you have to say to that, Diller?" Why
I guarantee,
is he like, you guys go talk
yeah.
about it.
I guarantee that if it was the Reed team that had missed this
Yes.
deadline, it would not be a talk about it offline amongst yourselves situation, because he's
Right.
been so strict about about discovery deadline. He's been so strict about it that I was worried is the Colin thing just going to be written off because he can't do this before the discovery deadline. Like I've watched the pattern of this. Somebody said this in the chat earlier, and I agree with them that ever since the Today Show interview, the judge has really seemed to be predisposed to be angry with the Reed team. I think he's like, I don't think he's a bad judge. I just think he's being a bad judge here is what I think. It's real weird. It's real weird.
Yeah, it's really strange. All right, let's just watch a little bit more of this.
Okay.
Anyone else want to offer anything else relative to discovery?
As it relates to discovery, Your Honor, we had requested and have reached out to the defendants to do an inspection of the vehicle with our experts. So as it relates to,
they don't have it anymore. What vehicle? What vehicle?
What vehicle? What experts?
The vehicle's been sold.
Disclosure.
Like they don't have it anymore.
It was a private sale. It was supposed to be up for auction, but then it ended up being private, and I think it went to a dealership or something.
So here's my take on Diller.
Mm-hmm.
I know this because sometimes I'm like this, especially when I was younger, before I was taking ADHD meds. He's not listening to anything. He's just waiting to talk.
He wants to talk about Turtleboy. That's what he's waiting to do. He wants, because he's gonna like go off. He tries to like whine and complain till get day.
Is it my turn yet? Is it my turn yet?
He wants to talk about what Turtleboy's doing online again. That's what he wants to talk about. It's ridiculous. All right.
He's calling me dildo.
Experts.
Yeah. He is.
Yeah. And I want, somebody brought up Julie Albert. So I want you guys to keep that in mind when we start talking about depositions in Aiden, because Julie Albert didn't show up for her deposition. Colin Albert, they pulled like a fast one so that it looked like the defendants didn't show up. Michael Proctor, we all know what happened there. People have been rescheduling their depositions all over the place on this case.
Which is normal, which is very normal.
Totally normal. Jen McCabe had rescheduled her deposition. I don't know how many times. I don't know if she's been deposed yet. But the way that Diller explains this about Aiden Carney is so disgusting and so disingenuous. And this judge doesn't see that for some reason.
I was watching live the stream where he didn't go to his deposition. I watched that stream live. I watched him get served with a subpoena live. It was very funny. It's like, this is the only streamer on the internet who the sheriff shows up at his house in the middle of one of his lives, and he's like, "Hold on, I got a cop at the door. I'll be right back."
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's the whole thing is like, I don't care. I mean, Aiden said that morning on live in the stream, he's like, "I've got my kids, my plans changed," or whatever. I don't care whether he did or not. I care whether or not he communicated that he couldn't go that day or not, and he did.
He not only communicated that he couldn't go that day, he also gave them many other dates, and he kept saying, "I want to work with you guys." And Diller isn't only telling half the story, because I think he knows what the judge wants to hear, and that's that Aiden didn't show up.
The
and
other
that
Emily,
is not true.
Yeah, the other Emily, I know Aiden is under a lot of pressure. I think don't worry. He has. He says he's unrepresented in this case technically, but he's getting it represented. He's getting advice on the case. Don't worry about it.
Not only that, Bradel responded for him. Bradel handled some of the correspondence with Diller. It sounded to me like Aiden and Diller were texting each other. That's what it sounded like to me. But anyway, all right.
There are a lot of experts that will be disclosed ultimately in this case, though there is also a lot of data that's still being acquired through the discovery process that we are in need of before we can get to expert disclosures, though we are well aware of the need to do expert disclosures.
Your Honor, I would just reiterate on Ms. Reed's behalf that we've had a discovery deadline that was more than a year after the case was filed by the plaintiffs, more than a year after the stay of discovery of Ms. Reed, what has expired. And everyone's known there need to be experts, obviously. And so I think that work needed to have been done. If there's going to be a motion about this, I agree with you. I don't need to take your time to argue it right now. We can argue it if it comes to pass.
But Your Honor, may I respond briefly to that?
Sure.
The plaintiffs, though, when
I'm going to
the
speed it up.
criminal trial ended, we served
Is he sick?
discovery
Or has he been
within
smoking
30
like 8
days
packs a
upon
day since this thing started?
the defendant.
No, his voice has always sounded like this. His voice doesn't match his face. And the other thing that I wanted to
His
say
voice
is,
really doesn't match his face. That's exactly right.
no, his voice doesn't match his face, and he cannot hide his expressions. He does not know how to have a poker face. So when one of the other attorneys is talking, specifically Rosenberg or one of those other guys, watch, you can see what he's feeling and his reaction based on what his face is doing. Like, just, I'll take it back like 5 seconds. He had a couple of reactions. So listen to what Rosenberg is saying, but watch Diller.
The plaintiffs, though, when the
Sorry.
By the plaintiffs more than a year after the stay of discovery.
See that?
Ms. Reed,
Look at that.
we've had a discovery. But, you know,
I think
I would
there's,
just reiterate on Ms. Reed's
doesn't it
behalf.
also seem like he's reacting
We've
to
had a
someone else
discovery
in the
deadline
room?
that was more than a year after the case was filed by the plaintiffs, more than a year after the stay of discovery of Ms. Reed.
Look at that.
What has expired. And everyone's known there
Rolling
need to
his
be
eyes.
experts, obviously. And so I think that work needed to have been done. If there's going to be a motion about this, I agree with you. I don't need to take your time to argue it right now. We can argue it if it comes to pass.
He's responding to someone else in the room. He's sitting in the room with somebody who's talking when he's respond. He's like, they're communicating with each other. He's just not listening. He's not listening at all.
You think?
Yeah.
So he
Look
goes
at him.
into
Look,
this-
okay. Go back to what you just did. Look at, and now imagine there's someone else in the room that he's trying to pretend that isn't there, that he's not talking to. Just go ahead.
Just reiterate on Ms. Reed's behalf that we've had a discovery deadline that was more than a year after the case was filed by the plaintiffs, more than a year after the stay of discovery of Ms. Reed. What has expired?
See, I think he's responding to Rosenberg.
No, I think he's talking to someone else in the room, and the other person is saying, "What a dick." Am I right? And he's like, "Yeah, whatever it is." But they're talking. There's definitely somebody with him, and I think, well, either way, he's not. I don't think he's still waiting to talk.
Yeah, and so he goes into this long diatribe about how much information Karen Reed's attorneys have had for so long because of the two trials, and they only got it at the end of the second trial, which,
yes,
let's remind everybody, was a year ago, but just about. Actually, it was a year ago, and there's no excuse for not having experts at this point in time for the plaintiff. This is their lawsuit. Like, what are we doing here? Okay, let me get past this.
they were going to add 10 new parties, it wasn't prudent for us to start engaging in
If they were going to add 10 new parties, do we all remember when that hearing happened? It was at the very first status hearing for this case, and it was in front of Judge Doolin. It wasn't even Judge Gilday. And Judge Doolin, or whoever it was like, no, you're not going to do that. So to bring that up almost a year later, or 8 months, 10 months later as an excuse is just, it's asinine to me. I'm going to pull this down for really quickly because I need to find the time code of the other part I wanted to show you.
You're going to search the ask button?
I am. I love the ask button.
The ask button is the best for those who don't know it. I mean, the things you need to know about YouTube are become a YouTube premium subscriber. It just changes the experience exponentially. If you watch more than an hour of YouTube a week, you should be a YouTube premium subscriber. Number 2, the little ask button underneath videos, you can put in a vague question.
Yes.
When in this video did Mel and Jimmy talk about fisting? And then it will show you, and it will give you like a text answer. It's AI. So it'll be like, Mel and Jimmy got into a deep conversation about the thing known as fisting at the 52:67 mark. And then they discussed it for 17 minutes. Oh, she's gone. They can't find any experts because physics, there was no car crash. Correct. I think it's both. His face responses to Rosenberg, and then he talks to somebody. I think so too. The other person in the room is saying, "You're on mute, right?" And the affirmative nod. The mystery person says, I recognize that all the time. Like you're on mute, right? Like you're in a meeting, right? You're on mute, right? Yeah, so good. Anybody who works from home most of the time recognizes that.
Okay. I think I got it.
You got?
There's two different parts of the
Currently,
of the
Ocean says
video.
that the 6969 mark. What are you, 12? 12?
They talk about it in the beginning, and then they go into depth about it a little bit later on. So I had to figure out where it was. But all right, hold on a second. We'll play this. You know what's also difficult is I always put myself on the wrong screen with my cursor. It doesn't matter. I'm just dumb.
Aidan Carney, Your Honor.
Okay, back it up.
Docket to be occurring. There were several substantive depositions that are pretty.
So this is the beginning of the hearing where they're just talking about how many depositions they've done. And it's Diller's turn. And he's what he is.
There are still another 21 that are outstanding.
21 depositions.
A number of depositions had been noticed to occur that everybody was prepared to occur, and they were canceled at the 11th hour. I believe mostly by witnesses, but they're still on the docket to be occurring. There were several substantive depositions that are pretty significant to the parties in this case that ended up being canceled at the 11th hour that still need to happen. And I expect that from those depositions, there will be follow-up questions that require further discovery.
When you say substantive depositions, tell me which depositions you're referring to.
Well, notably, Aidan Carney, Your Honor.
How is that substantive?
Failed to attend his deposition, which was scheduled on the 30th. We're preparing a...
That's a flat out lie. I just want to make that clear. He's lying. He did not fail to appear.
Yeah.
Why is the judge not questioning? Why is the judge not questioning that?
He did that thing where he said in the communications with him, Diller said, well, I'm just going to say that you failed to appear. He says something along those lines. So you're failing to appear then? He's like, no, I'm not failing to appear. Here's all the other dates I can do. He's like, yeah. So you failed to.
Yeah.
He just wanted to be able to tell Kate Peter something because Kate Peter knew about it before.
To tell Gilday that he failed to appear.
Oh, goodness.
A motion to compel for sanctions. He then went on his live stream that evening and said that.
I don't need to hear all the details. Just get your motion filed.
Yeah, so that hasn't happened
wait
yet.
to say it though.
Ms. Reed's suspended deposition.
He's going to detail the whole thing.
Has not.
He called me
finalized.
dildo.
It was supposed to have occurred, and for logistics reasons between all the parties, that was moved to another future date, so it hasn't occurred yet. There's also, I know that we're still have a 30B6 of one of the bars that is outstanding.
I can answer this one.
Is it scheduled?
Aiden is taking the fifth, so why even do it? Taking the fifth in a civil case is allowed to get a negative inference from the jury.
Yes.
So he can take the fifth all he wants. It is his legal right. It is as a citizen of the United States.
And
Just like
he
it's
should.
everyone's constitutional right to take the fifth, even former public officials who are testifying in front of Congress. It is absolutely their right to take the fifth, and we are not allowed to make a negative inference from it. In civil court, though, you are allowed to make a negative inference, unlike in criminal court, from somebody taking the fifth. So he wants him doing that on tape so that he can play that in court.
Yes. All right, so let's get to the second half of this when they talk about the motion to compel Aiden and possible sanctions, which is insane.
Isn't fair for us.
I also want to reference.
This is what I'm answering. Why even be deposed? So that he will say it on camera, on tape.
Right.
So that's
They
actually a
want him to.
tactic. It's a
Yes.
tactic to say, if somebody's planning on, let me just throw this. I know it must be on record. Let me just throw this out at you guys. If you found out that Brian Albert was planning on taking the fifth to every substantive question that Karen Reed's team asked him, would you or would you not want to see that, or want a whole record of it, or want the jury to see that? You would. You absolutely would.
I mean,
This is the same as that. It's not nothing that he wants to plead the fifth. It has to be on the record. It has to be in a deposition. He does have to do a deposition in order to plead the fifth. He can't just not do it because he's going to plead the fifth. So that's a given. Should he have shown up that day? That's not for me to judge. If he couldn't do it, he couldn't do it. It sounds like he communicated it, whatever. But it is actually valuable to them to have him on record saying pleading the fifth in a civil case. It's valuable. It's not valuable.
we saw a perfect example of pleading the fifth this week when Anthony Fauci went before.
That's
our
what I was
Congress.
alluding to without talking about it.
Oh,
earlier.
sorry. The only thing I was going to say, I'm not going to actually say what I believe or think. What I'm saying is, if you are in the anti-Fauci camp, what did that make you think when he pled the fifth in front of Congress?
You made a negative inference from it, right? So
when they said, "What color are your shoes?" and he said, "Upon the advice of my attorneys, I plead my Fifth Amendment." When they said, "What color is your tie?" and he said, "I plead," what inference did you take from that if you're anti-Fauci?
I understand this correction, but still, it can still be so. Whatever the jury, because the jury is going to get instructions, right? Whatever the jury is going to take, the jury is going to take. He knows it is valuable. So if Brian Albert were facing a criminal charge of an unrelated kind, and he was going to be called into court in the criminal case or in a civil case and said, "I plead the fifth, I plead the fifth, I plead the fifth." Even if a judge told you, that means nothing. He's got a pen. People watching this would also be like, "Yeah, I pled the fifth because he's guilty." Whatever. It has value. It has intrinsic value. So anyway, I just want people to understand he still has to do it. It is important. It is a tactic. It's not meaningless to have a witness take the fifth for an entire deposition in a civil case. It's meaningful, and they want that on the record, even if it's for a pending criminal complaint.
Yep. Okay. So they're going to talk a little bit more in depth about the motion to compel Aiden's deposition as well as possible sanctions here.
Us to force them into discovery when they didn't have access as well to all of the materials.
Discovery.
They could be earnest since the end that needs to be digested. And
agrees with me, but I still don't feel the need to go back and forth when there's no motion before you unless you want me to address anything.
I'm all set.
Okay.
Frank Diller, when are you going to file the motion relative to the witness that didn't show up?
Aiden.
It'll be done today, Your Honor. In full transparency, that witness has disclosed that he is willing to show up, but I will tell you I would prefer to have an order of the court so that if it's skipped again, that there is something that puts him, forces him to actually go forward with the deposition. So
you say it's going to be prepared today, so it hasn't been sent out?
It hasn't been served 9A.
Any of the other parties object to the motion?
Well, I don't know what the motion is going to say, Your Honor. I'm happy.
The motion is probably going to seek compelling the witness to appear. Anyone object to that?
If that's the entirety of the motion, then no.
Your Honor, on behalf of Waterfall, we would not object.
On behalf of CF McCarthy's, we would not object either, Your Honor.
All right. So let's assume the motion also seeks sanctions. Are any of the other parties going to object to that?
I would say it depends what the sanctions are. There's a possibility we might not take a position on it. I can't really answer that without knowing what they're asking for.
Why would you possibly oppose the request to sanction a non-party?
Why is he questioning Rosenberg in this moment? To me, it's showing his.
He's trying to poke him. He's trying to be like, "Oh, so you're pro Turtleboy." It's like he's irritated. We know he doesn't like Turtleboy. We know he heard him say that. That's why I think he should be, recused in other cases that involve him. The other lawsuit, he is like, it is unreasonable for Rosenberg to be asked to have a position on a motion he has not yet read or sanctions he doesn't know what they are. And it's like if he says, if the motion is just going to say, and if you heard this, what he actually said was, "I want a motion to compel him if he doesn't show up for the next one." It's not so that, because he's already said he's going to do it. Right. So that the judge is like, "Oh, so if it says this," he's like, they're like, "Fine. If we want sanctions, how do you feel?" And he's like, "What is the could the sanction potentially hurt my client?" It could, so he doesn't know. It's an unreasonable question. And of course, I think Aiden should plead the fifth, be anonymous. Of course he should. He's got a pending criminal case.
I mean, the problem here is that what I don't like about this question to Rosenberg is that the rest of the people involved in this case don't care necessarily that Aiden could be sanctioned. If those sanctions are worded in a way that it also affects Karen Reed in some way, then Rosenberg should not be okay with those sanctions. But he's being made to feel like, well, what's your problem? Why are you the odd man out here? That makes no sense. And it's like, it makes every bit of sense in the world because he has to defend his client. And if those sanctions affect his client, which they may, knowing Diller, he can't say yes beforehand and then be on record saying, yeah, I'm fine with it.
Right.
He's got to look at what's on the paper. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Also, this judge knows, because he's in charge of that case too, that Aiden and Karen are co-defendants in another suit.
Yes.
He knows that.
Yes.
So
that's what my point is.
So for him to even challenge Diller on taking a position about Aiden Carney, period, is really weird. He knows that even though they have separate representation, even though they have separate interests, even though they have separate everything, he knows that they are co-defendants in another case. So of course, sanctioning him here could hurt them in the other courtroom. Yes. Like it's just wild. Anyway, yeah, this whole thing was very strange.
Whole thing's very strange. And also just want to say thanks to M. Danger Riley. This is the best morning live stream known of in the YouTube history.
No.
Yes.
No,
yes.
That's 24 on 24. That's the greatest show in the land. The greatest show in the land. We're just trying to be the second greatest show in the land over here.
We're the second greatest show in the land. Thank you guys so much. And don't forget to tip your servers.
Okay, meaning us. We are the servers.
They know. I've been saying it all week.
But that's us.
We weren't here.
Just to be clear, and I'm the main server.
We're serving it. We're serving it. We're serving it.
You wrong, Rebecca. No, 24. I know 24 on 24 is the number one show in the land because that's that way it opens. It says that. Just like I know that Dr. Turtleboy is a fridge daddy because he says so at the beginning of his stream.
Oh my God. Nothing to do with it.
Well, I didn't have a position on it. I can't really answer that without knowing what they're asking for.
Right.
Why would you possibly oppose a request to sanction a non-party that you have nothing to do with?
Because we're co-defendants in another case.
I necessarily would, Your Honor.
He does have something to do with it. He does. And the case that you're overseeing, Judge Gilday, the defamation case, includes both Karen Reed and Aiden Carney. So what are we talking about here?
I said, I don't know what the sanctions that they are seeking are. And so sanctions can obviously be a lot of things. And
I think Rosenberg did himself a little bit of a disservice here. He could have just said, I'm not saying yes to anything until I see it in writing.
Correct.
Period.
Just like you do when you're getting a job offer. You need to see that shit in writing.
You don't sign off on shit that you haven't read. I mean, the fact that the judge is asking them to verbally say, I agree to this without reading it. Right. Like what is he doing?
I promise you I'm going to pay you $100,000 and give you 4 weeks of vacation. Do you accept this as binding? No, write it down. No. For God's sakes.
Just because we're
Los Angeles Thrifter, how could you say 24 on 24 sucks? It's the greatest morning show in the land.
There may be an argument that the sanctions that are sought are not appropriate. I don't know. I'm in a vacuum. I can't tell you that. Yes, I would agree to whatever sanctions they ask for.
Stop the words.
Okay, so everyone agrees that a witness that didn't appear, it would be appropriate for an order to issue compelling that witness to appear. Is that correct?
Correct.
Attorney Diller, do you agree with that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Rosenberg, do you?
Yes.
That question. Why is the judge not saying, so the other people who haven't shown up, it's okay to motion to compel them, like Julie Albert and Colin and Michael Proctor and da-da-da-da-da?
Good question.
Okay.
Put it in writing.
You're having a little screen problem here, so I lost it. Here we go.
Dummy.
Attorney Holstad, do you agree to that?
I do, Your Honor.
Attorney Daly, do you agree to that?
Yes, Your Honor.
So how about I issue an order compelling the witness to appear? When do the parties want the witness to appear for deposition?
He said he would.
Who are you talking about? Aiden?
Yes, and Diller even said if he doesn't show up, I will want a motion compelling him. But he already said he would. This whole thing is just to make him look bad in court.
It is, and I agree. And here's what we're gonna do to make sure that we're getting both sides.
Both sides.
Both sides. Both sides.
Someone in the chat said, what is 24 on 24? If you don't know, I feel really bad for you because you're missing the greatest morning show in all the land.
Here we go. All right, let's listen to what Aiden had to say. Because Aiden's going to come with some receipts that were not presented in court.
Mark Diller is filing a motion for Aiden Carney's failure to appear at his deposition to compel him to appear before the judge is asking if another attorneys object to the motion. Attorneys say no. Judge asks the motion seeks sanctions if any attorneys would oppose. Attorney Rosenberg says maybe. Judge asks why in the world he would oppose sanctions for a non-party he has nothing to do with. Looks like Diller may be looking to compel and sanction Aiden Carney. Okay. Yeah, he can look all he wants. So, I don't know. We have a record trail of everything. He sent me a new summons the 17th. It'll be in. See you on the 17th, pal. That's when you want me to be there, right? See you then. Okay.
See you
Grant
then.
has it. Was it any, that's it? That's the whole thing? That's the whole thing? Okay. Today's Karen Reed hearing is about to begin. Okay. Towel News Network reporting. 25 depositions have occurred. 21 are outstanding. Judge asks what substantive depositions are outstanding. Diller says journalist, oh, thank you, Grant. Aiden Turtleboy Carney was unable to attend his depo. Diller was not allowed to talk about Carney. The judge shut him down. Oh, I want to see that now. I got to go check out Towel News Network now. I got to go see this.
No, he didn't.
Karen, apparently. I can't even keep track. Let's watch her hearing.
Nope, that's not what I was looking for. Hold on. It's right here.
Can we watch the sheriff serve him a notice? The sheriff serve him a subpoena.
I don't know which episode is that.
No, don't worry about it. It was just very funny. What was funny to me about it was the nonchalance. Like we had the cops show up a couple of times here over the years. Let's see, I lived in this town for 23 years. Over the years, probably twice, maybe 3 times, the cops have showed up at my house because we didn't get our dogs licensed in time. Because I live in a tiny town with 7 cops, and they will send the cops to your house if your dogs don't have a license. And every single time that happened, I was like completely terrified. I'm like, why are the cops here? Why are the cops?
Yeah, it's terrifying when people show up at your house like that.
Yes, but like he was just like,
point.
oh yeah, I was like there's a cop. I'm probably being served with. Hold on a second, guys, and he just like was like, hold on a second, guys.
Oh,
and he was like, walk. That was just me doing him. Walk. You know.
I guess he didn't detail it in this video. Anyway,
can I? Well, I'm sorry. Keep going.
No, I was just going to say there's a video where Aiden, I got the wrong one. There's a video where Aiden actually goes through all of the messages between Diller and himself and details in like you get every single detail. He reads them out loud.
Yes.
Hey, I can be available on this date. I really want to work with you guys. Please let me know. That date won't work. And then he's like, and then he never got back to me. And then the next thing I know, I haven't shown up for my deposition.
It was like one of those Jimmy making fun of Machado reading text thing where he texts and he's like, I didn't respond. Legal Tube says Towel News is becoming not quite the news network lady. Yes, with a heavy dose of wild conspiracy theories. Because FYI, I don't know if you know this, but the Mossad, a global cabal, and the CIA all framed Karen Reed. She didn't say that specifically, but if you look at just Grant's general tweets, it's like, wait, what? He'll just be like, this happened in court, this happened in court, this happened in court, this happened in court. Deep state intelligence operation targeting Aiden Carney. It's very funny.
And also how the Epstein files there are people from Norfolk County in the Epstein files, especially Michael Morrissey. Yeah.
I mean, Michael Morrissey is mentioned in the Epstein files, but it's very passing. It's not like
Michael Morrissey. Karen Reed's mentioned too, but that's because the feds, it's like, oh, and the feds are also investigating the Sandra Birchmore case, and they're now involved in the Karen Reed case. Okay. Anything else you want to talk about with this deposition being scheduled? I think the whole thing is ludicrous.
It is. It's just
they wasted so much time.
Diller figured out that it works when he tries to make Karen or Aiden look bad in court. So now he's just going to play that. It's like when the Red Sox first played Sweet Caroline, they were like, oh, I think we should do that again. The crowd really seemed to like it. So now they play it after every 7th inning or whatever. Like they figured out it works. Like, you know, speaking of, can I just mention something that while you're queuing up the next thing?
Are you going to bring up the picture of David Dinetti again?
No, okay. I'm going to tell people they have to watch the Little League World Series. The softball finals were on yesterday. The semifinals for the regionals were on yesterday, and the the national semifinals are on like in a day or two.
Mm-hmm.
It is so good. It's on ESPN.
They're so good.
And the reason it's the most high stakes, fast paced sports thing you will ever watch. And I say that with all seriousness because every single kid is going to remember this game for the rest of his or her life. And yes, there are girls playing in the league. There's a girl pitcher playing for Alabama. Oh my God. There's a whole family legacy there. Like one of the dads is the coach. The uncle is the third base coach. His daughter is a pitcher and shortstop. And the other kid is a pitcher. And it's like, but every single kid is going to remember every single play in all of these games for the rest of their lives. Right. And nobody's getting paid for this. So all the stakes are all heart glory.
Yes.
And like it's incredible. It's incredible. And the games are short. They're only 6 innings. They move super fast. The kids are incredible. I cannot recommend enough watching Little League World Series. And I got into it primarily because my husband is a Little League umpire. He's also a high school umpire, et cetera. But like, he's been now doing more Little League and trained in a Little League program. So like, I feel like very invested in the umpire stories as well. But like, it's good. It's really, really good. Please watch. It's like watching the spelling bee. It's so much better than you think it's going to be.
Yeah, Little League World Series is pretty amazing. I was in Little League. I was one of the only girls. Lady Harlot, yes, we are doing Crossroads at our usual time tonight, 5 p.m. You can also, the video is already out, so you can just click the notify me button for when we are coming up. Is there anything else you want to add? I think we're good with this, the sanctions argument.
Let's
get into a little bit about the New Jersey case. I feel like we need to sort of preface it a little bit, like explain what it is.
I can
do you want to explain that part, and then I'll talk about Bederow's response to the Brady response?
Yes.
I'm going to pee.
Okay. A lot of what I'm about to say is my opinion. Okay. So just to be clear on that, there is this woman named Lindsay Stacchini who is a lunatic, in my opinion. She reached out to a bunch of people. This was during trial 2. Early in trial 2, reached out to a bunch of internet creators, including Turtleboy, saying, guess what? I've been catfishing Paul O'Keefe. He thinks he's in a sexual relationship with me, and I think he's in love with me, et cetera, et cetera. And I have all of these communications with him that show it. And he's sending me signals in the courtroom on TV so that I'll see him. And he one of the communications she shared, it said that he testified in trial 1 when he was drunk. She had all this stuff. So she reached out to Turtleboy. He ended up publishing some of it. Some stuff happened. He ended up writing about her because he realized that she is even more. Okay, it's already lunatickery for someone to do this to someone, just to Paul O'Keefe or to anyone. It's already lunatickery. But then it sort of comes out that she's also a liar, not just lying to Paul O'Keefe about who she is and the fact that she wants to have a sexual relationship with him, but lying to literally everybody, telling everybody her dad's a judge. He's not. Telling everybody that she's a psychotherapist. She's not. Something I looked up immediately when I heard about this a while back. She's not licensed in the state of New Jersey for anything. She used to work at a social work agency a long time ago. That was in her wedding announcement. She's married to a lawyer. But on her LinkedIn, it said, I don't know if it still says this, but as of last week, it was like stay-at-home mom looking for volunteer opportunities. She says she claimed to have a murdered sister. She does not have a murdered sister. She photoshopped her face into famous photos of influencers and was like, this is me and my sister. And she sent these to like everybody. Like, this is a person who is clearly a fantasist. Like, she's not capable of not doing it. Like, it's a lunatickery at its highest degree. So she sued Aidan Carney basically for all this stuff. Like, he wrote about me, blah, 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 blah. She made a complaint. She took him to court, yada, yada. She wanted an RO. So they had the hearing in New Jersey. She was on Zoom for the hearing. And she gave all of her testimony about all the ways that she was abused on the internet. She made all of these claims about him, that he tried to ruin her life personally, that he either personally or directed people to like call her husband at his business and call her father the judge. all this stuff. And when it was time for her to be cross-examined, she said she dropped it. And then she had to tell the judge, like, no, I'm actually not afraid of him. And she sort of like was really weird about it. But then she told people behind the scenes in text messages that have come out recently, which we'll talk about, that she actually had a plan. The reason she dropped it is because she actually had a plan to get him charged in criminal court. So she made a citizen complaint for 7 months. This thing was kind of hanging out there. Not much happened. Apparently there was eventually the prosecutor in New Jersey called Aiden's lawyers and said, yeah, we're not going to be pursuing this, but then called them back and said, oh, surprise. The district attorney made us put on a grand jury. They came back with a bill for Aiden Carney. He's now been indicted for these crimes. So that's what they're facing now. I am not the kind of person who calls a strange woman a lunatic without reason. I'm not going to tell you to trust me. If you don't want to, feel free just to look it up for yourself. There's plenty of documentation, including some of them in these letters that Bederow has sent to the Jersey court to try and get this indictment dismissed. So would you like to talk about what's in the letters?
So Bederow obviously responded, and I don't think that this prosecutor is ready for Bederow. But basically, Bederow wrote an 11-page letter in response, which was basically a request for Brady information, Brady evidence. And for those of you, did you already go over Brady?
No, but basically, it's a request for anything used in the indictment. So what was the evidence presented in front of the grand jury that secured the indictment?
Exculpatory evidence, yeah.
Also exculpatory, but also inculpatory. Like, why are you charging him?
Right.
So
because they don't know, because they haven't seen anything.
They're supposed to turn over everything, right? And all they know is that she made the complaint, and all they have at this point is this like 2-page police report or whatever. Yeah. So,
and let's not forget that back in 2025, in October at some point, Lindsay Stacchini had previously attempted to get Aiden arrested. But the ACPO declined. And at that time, because Carney's online comments were not a violation.
Correct.
Okay. So in this demand letter that Bederow sent, he's demanding mandatory and exculpatory discovery, which we just talked about, which it stems from the Brady Giglio case. So the defense asserts that under New Jersey Court Rule 3133B1, the prosecution is mandated to provide discovery within 3 business days after the unsealing/return of an indictment when private counsel has appeared. So that should be happening. And it didn't. There's the missing evidence list. They're requiring that. There's also the defense is letting the ACPO know that failure to subpoena or preserve electronic data surrounding Lindsay Stacchini's social media accounts and communications, despite knowing of her statements prior, may lead to legal claims regarding the spoilation of exculpatory evidence if data was deleted.
Including her Elle Woods account.
Yes. And here's the thing. The prosecution wouldn't have brought this case if they had looked into her social media.
Of course not.
Because they would realize that she's a lunatic, and there's lunaticery, which maybe we should rename the episode Lunaticery. That's a good one. And then as far as her credibility, so they touch on her credibility in this letter. I would bring it up with their JPEGs that Turtleboy posted. So it's like an image on each page. So maybe I'll bring up a little bit of it, but the defense is presenting extensive offers of proof to demonstrate that Lindsay Stacchini is a compulsive liar.
Is a lunatic.
Lunatic.
You should just put the word lunatic in his filing, I think.
Yeah, who fabricated evidence and falsely accused others. So I'm going to go through a couple of these. And these are listed out with headers. So fabricated personal details and profession. Lindsay Stacchini put on her LinkedIn and said that she was a licensed clinical psychologist. Yet New Jersey licensing records show she has never been a licensed psychologist in New Jersey.
Correct.
She repeatedly claimed that her father was a judge, which I think you brought up. And then in December of 2025, she admitted to a third party that she lied to Aiden about this to scare him. So Aiden's got the receipts again on this. He's got the social media posts. He's probably got messages. He's probably got all kinds of stuff. They're also saying that she fabricated a murder story and manipulated photos.
The sister, yes.
So Lindsay Stacchini repeatedly told third parties. I'm going to keep saying third parties. We're talking about social media. We're talking about messages. Detailed a story that her sister was drugged, raped, and murdered. In reality, Lindsay does not and never did have a sister. She doesn't even have a sister.
Oh, she does, though, if you look at her photoshopped photos of influencers where she's put her head in between two other women.
Can you grab those photos while I detail this? So she photoshopped her face onto the Cavender twins, which are college basketball players or influencers, I don't even know, to pass it off as the quote unquote last picture taken of her sister. How fucking despicable. As well as she edited herself into celebrity photos with Derek Jeter, Alex Rodriguez, and Naomi Campbell to gain attention
is great
and online sympathy. Do you have any of those?
I'm gonna look for them. You can keep talking.
I'm not saying Lindsay Zucchini, but that's pretty fun. I'm saying Lindsay Stacchini. Okay. And then the next part is she has a bunch of burner accounts. So Stacchini repeatedly denied owning a troll burner X account called Elwoods, and another one called Sapaw, and another one called Katniss Everdeen, which is ludicrous. Evidence shows she owned them, used them to leak court information, smear Aiden, and admitted bragging that she used VPNs so her account could never be traced. She's not very smart if she thinks that VPNs can't be traced. And then Aiden is alleging that she explicitly boasted about plans to frame Aiden for leaks that she herself committed on Reddit or burner accounts. So if they're saying this in legal papers, they have the receipts, you guys.
Of course they do. Of course they do.
Do you have any pictures you want to show us?
I'm looking. I just accidentally saw the Paul O'Keefe shirtless one. I didn't want to see that. That was against my will.
Okay. So Aiden is also claiming fabrication regarding law enforcement and Mass and New Jersey cooperation. Stacchini claimed to third parties in December 2025 that she was in direct hours-long contact with Norfolk County DA Michael Morrissey and was given a taxpayer-funded, quote-unquote, police protection detail and was promised, quote, full immunity, end quote, in Massachusetts. Defense counsel, so Bederow, contacted Cosgrove and confirmed he's never spoken to Lindsay. He had no knowledge of Morrissey speaking to her, and he also stated that Massachusetts law enforcement only contacted her to understand the New Jersey situation, but not as a witness. Aiden is also arguing that Lindsay and I want to say, actually, I should say Lindsay Stacchini. I don't want to mix this up with Lindsay Gaetani. The defense, or Aiden, also is arguing that Stacchini either completely fabricated these official interactions or lied under oath in prior civil court proceedings, where she stated under oath she did not fear for her safety and dropped a protective order. Now, some of the receipts that are involved in this part of it she's literally posting on her social media that she is willing to go to Massachusetts and kick Aiden's ass. She also talks about bringing Pew Pew GUNS with her to attack Aiden. So, like, if I'm Aiden, I'm thinking that's a threat on my life. I don't know if...
but what about her boyfriend, Derek Jeter?
Oh my God. What? Okay, all I have to say about this is Paul O'Keefe, you're a dumbass. Like, does he not also, like, in this situation, he's going to have to be deposed?
Yeah.
Like, if it moves forward, like, all kinds, like, the discovery for this is going to be chef's kiss, but I don't think it's.
I'm sorry. Look at the Photoshop job, though. Look at it.
Rebecca, I see it. I mean, her head is huge.
It's all lit. Her head's huge, just lit differently.
Her head is bigger than Jeter's head. I mean, and also, who falls for that? Kate Peter.
Dummies. Oh, my favorite fact about Derek Jeter. Okay. My favorite fact about him is when he got caught. He used to have, when he was a Yankee, he was like famously like a ladies' man. No shame there. He had, it was just known. He would have women over. Next morning, he would give them a gift bag full of like signed sports memorabilia and stuff.
Get the fuck out.
And the reason this became known was because he slept with the same woman twice, didn't realize it, and gave her the gift bag again.
He double
really
gift bagged
recommend it.
somebody.
He double
He
gift
double
bagged
gift
somebody.
bagged
Yep.
somebody. Okay.
Yep.
God, it's men sometimes. Men.
He
Don't.
has denied that story, by the way, but I refuse to believe it's not true.
No.
That's me being a journalist right now. Just because he denied it directly, to me, makes it more true.
You said it on the record. He denied it. Your opinion is that it's not true.
My opinion is that I think he was so comfortable being, I think he was just very, very comfortable being a ladies' man, very, very comfortable calling cars for women and sending them home with gifts. Good for them. They got the
when
gifts.
you get away with it, when you're allowed to do it, when people are,
I don't think he pretended like making. I don't think he was pretending to make commitments to any of these people. You know.
All I'm saying is, when you have that kind of power, you just expect that everything's going to be fine because it has been.
Yeah.
Okay,
you don't think someone's going to get a gift bag twice by mistake?
He probably fired that assistant who gave.
What were the names of the sisters, by the way? The sisters that because that one's funny too.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Okay, so this is actually the threats that I was just talking about. So Aiden has messages that demonstrate that Stacchini hated Aiden out of jealousy, desire for online clout, which I think is probably true, surrounding the Karen Reed case. She was motivated to fabricate charges against him in New Jersey, specifically to get his bail revoked in his Massachusetts criminal matter. And he also, in this 11-page letter, highlights messages where Stacchini fantasized about physically attacking Aiden, stating she would, quote, drive to his house with a bat, end quote, and joked about having, quote unquote, 2 pistols and 2 rifles and said she could kick his ass. So the next steps were the defense, Aiden's defense is demanding immediate production of all undisclosed communications between Lindsay and the ACPO, all coordination records between New Jersey and Massachusetts authorities, any immunity promises, and a formal 313-3 list explaining all missing discovery prior to Aiden's scheduled arraignment on September 23rd. And then I guess Bederow followed this up with more papers.
Yeah.
I find funny.
And it's like, we know even more now.
We have a lot more information now. Okay.
By the way, this is Lindsay Stacchini's imaginary dead sister.
That is so sad. That is really up.
Okay. We talk about this a lot on Crime Writers On when we watch a documentary about somebody who did something so wild that clearly like they have a mental illness like that, people who pretend to be pregnant forever and think that no one's going to catch them, or that lady who belonged to that church who then pretended to have cancer, like a million different kinds of cancer or whatever.
Yeah.
There's clearly mental illness at play here. Clearly the sort of the mental illness that leads to sort of the fantasist stuff. I struggle with the whole thing about like, we should never talk about somebody who has mental illness because of XYZ. Because the bottom line is a lot of people have mental illnesses who don't do this kind of shit. It is absolutely possible to have a mental illness and be an asshole at the same time. And I think that that's what's going on here. I think we have somebody with an illness who's also an asshole. So I don't think it's off limits. I just, when someone is, you can say somebody is mentally ill because they're pretending to have 10 million different kinds of cancer, but then they're also getting money from people for their fake ass treatments from pictures that they pulled on the internet or whatever. They're doing harm because they're being an asshole. So both things can be true. And I think the Lindsay Stacchini thing, perfect example of both things being true. She created a horrible grape and murder story for this poor imaginary woman in this photo. Can you believe this poor imaginary woman had to be raped and murdered in her fantasy?
So here's the thing too. In my opinion, some of what Lindsay did wouldn't have been taken so seriously if she had been less attractive. Yeah. I think some of it has to do, especially with Paul O'Keefe and unfortunately Aiden. I think that if she had been some kind of like hag, some troll, they wouldn't have taken her seriously. They wouldn't have believed, but they are.
You mean her lies were believed because she was attractive? Oh yeah.
Yes.
Totally.
Yes.
Totally.
Yes. Yes.
Totally.
If she was Kate Peter, no.
Listen.
If she was.
Men are not complicated. No offense to all
the
men.
Tell me about men.
You guys are not complicated. If a beautiful woman approaches a dumb man, so dumb men in particular, not complicated. The beautiful woman approaches a dumb man, perhaps a dumb man with an alcohol issue who has beer goggles on like all the time.
Who is also dealing with a family tragedy, let's be honest.
She knew it was going to work, and it did, you know, because she probably has done this to somebody else before.
Yeah.
And I think that if this makes the news in New Jersey, probably a bunch of people are going to come forward and be like, guess what? It's going to be like that thing, that girl who tortured the Bachelor guy, and then had a bunch of other people that she faked pregnancies with. Like,
Brie Anonymous said she doesn't even look like that. That's the point.
Those are some enhanced photos of her. Let's be real.
But that's my point. Like, that's what people can do online to to catfish people, to get them, you know, invested. So anyway, Bradel then put out, he filed more papers, and basically, what am I trying to say? So there's the background and discovery context here is that the ACPO, which is the Atlantic County Prosecutor's Office, represented that it had provided full discovery to the defense on August 3rd.
Ms. Hodkins says, is Rebecca mansplaining men?
Yes. So the ACPO is saying they gave full discovery to the defense on August 3rd. This discovery consisted of a single download link titled USB from client for ACPO, which contained materials selected and supplied directly by the complaining witness. So they supplied a file link that was just what the witness gave them, which is how they got this indictment. I mean, they didn't present the actual facts to the grand jury.
Right.
So the defense is noting that the full discovery lacked their full discovery lacked a transmittal letter, itemized catalog, property report documenting how or when the USB drive was received, or any of the mandatory Brady exculpatory materials requested in the defense's prior demand. So Aiden is saying that the drive contains cherry-picked short clips from hour-long videos made by Aiden, omitting context that undermines Lindsay Stacchini's credibility to harm the state's case. The defense contends the ACPO cannot fulfill its constitutional obligations by outsourcing its evidence-gathering duties to a biased alleged victim. And I mean, how many times are we going to see this? Lawyers thinking they've got it in the bag because they clipped 10 seconds from a stream Aiden did that was 6 hours long or whatever it was.
Yeah, a stream that was gross, right? Like, because he says gross things. Like,
yes.
And if you're if you're not dumb, if you are a smart grand juror with very limited information, and you just see a montage of somebody calling a woman a C word and saying blah, blah, blah about her forever, like, that could look bad. I mean, you could go for free speech, but it could look bad. But like, that's not the context. This is the context.
Yeah.
Paul O'Keefe's online girlfriend, Lindsay Stacchini, says Turtleboy is the devil for writing the story that she sought me out to write. I love this headline so much.
I know.
There's the photo that she shares of herself. And there's the photo that Paul allegedly sent her. He will be asked to testify in this, by the way. This story, by the way, I'll share a link to it. I recommend looking at it in the read view without the ads. No offense, Aiden, but your ads are very disruptive to the reading experience. I don't say that for all of his stories. I want him to make money off of his ads, but sometimes when a story is 81 pages long, like this one is, the ads are a lot, especially on mobile. Yeah. Don't read it on mobile. Don't read it.
Okay, so there's a couple of other key things in this second filing. The discovery includes emails sent to Stacchini's husband and his law firm from addresses including Canton Watchdog 1275 at Gmail, Sergeant Brian Fahey at MoscowMail.com, and Switzmen at Yahoo.com that Stacchini claims were sent or arranged by Aiden. Aiden is pointing out that the ACPO has provided zero forensic evidence or investigative reports proving Aiden sent those messages. And Stacchini has previously claimed on social media via her L. Woods account that, quote, forensic data experts, end quote, and a quote unquote outstanding IT department proved Aiden sent these emails. The defense demands all IP, forensic, or law enforcement records regarding these emails accounts to expose another material lie if no such investigation exists. The fact that a prosecutor wouldn't have looked into whether these claims were true or not is what's really bothering me about this.
Somebody in the chat said this: I promise you the ACPO hasn't spent more than 15 minutes gathering discovery. All they need is her word to meet the PC standard in New Jersey. I think this is probably right.
Probably true. Yeah.
I just think they haven't looked, because now I guess they put a pause, or they delayed the arraignment by a few months or whatever. And it's like, delaying the arraignment is a really good way to start dropping this without getting egg on your face.
Yep. So in the second filing, they have newly acquired messages showing that Stacchini made nearly identical, demonstrably false harassment claims against Paul O'Keefe. Did we ever think that Paul O'Keefe and Aidan Carney would be on the same side in something?
Yes, actually, I actually think Paul O'Keefe secretly, I mean, there's messages between the two of them early on in this whole case that sort of point me toward Paul being curious and reasonable. I think he was indoctrinated by Morrissey's office.
Yeah.
He was shown stuff or whatever that made him very angry. Plus he's a drinker, a thing that we know to be true. And I actually think he was probably a turtle rider before. And someone's pointed out to me, rightly, by the way, that you could just become a Turtle Club member and then experience his website ad-free. I know I believe in paying for journalism, so I can't be a hypocrite there. I'm a member of his channel, but I'm not a Turtle Clubber. Just FYI. And I'm a member because I want to see the members only, where we get the dirt first.
Yeah. So as far as Paul O'Keefe is concerned, in June 2025, Stacchini claimed in private messages that O'Keefe had threatened to kill me several times, end quote, and was emailing her family and business partners.
Liar.
And then she claimed to a third party that she was, quote, a former child psychologist, end quote, and worried about O'Keefe emailing her old employer.
Lie.
She also claimed she currently ran a, quote, private psychology practice, end quote, working, quote, per diem, end quote, from home. She also claimed O'Keefe, quote, called the courthouse where my father was a judge for almost 20 years, end quote, and that a detective ran IP addresses linking the stalking to O'Keefe's house. She also claimed she served Paul O'Keefe with a cease and desist letter received by his wife, ending her message with laughing emojis about humiliating O'Keefe's wife. The defense demands any proof of such a cease and desist letter or police IP investigation, noting that its non-existence confirms her pattern of fabrication. There's two more things that I want to cover.
They're going to drop this. They're going.
They have to. They have to.
I guarantee they're going to drop this.
They don't have the information to back it up. I mean, it's ridiculous that they waste. Again, this is a prosecutor's office, a DA's office, wielding their power to cost other people money because they can do it. Not only are they wasting the taxpayers' money in New Jersey, but now they're costing Aidan more money. And what's the point? They have no dog in this fight in Massachusetts. Stay the fuck out of it.
You mean New Jersey?
New Jersey doesn't have a dog in the fight in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. Stay out of it. Yeah. They're just trying to cause Aidan to pay more money to his lawyers. They're charging the taxpayers for this frivolous, ridiculous, stupid charges against Aidan. It's insane to me. So then in June 2025 messages, Stacchini explicitly confessed to catfishing and humiliating Paul O'Keefe, specifically to prevent him from testifying at Karen Reed's 2025 trial. So this is one of the things that she said. I'm going to say this as a quote. Quote, I did it for Karen and I would do it again. I did that to keep him from testifying and to humble his ass a bit, end quote. So the reason for this supplemental filing, what I'm thinking is that Paul O'Keefe reached out to them and gave them information, or at least maybe Paul's wife did. Somebody gave them this information. Yeah. Where did Aidan get it from? He had to have gotten it from Paul or his wife.
Just like people, this is a great example of putting a little bit out there in the world and then more people coming forward. This happens. This is like So at NHPR, we made a podcast called The 13th Step about this guy, Eric Spofford, who's up now on federal charges, literally for hiring people to physically attack the homes of people that work where I work. When we made the podcast, it's about this guy who allegedly sexually abused a bunch of women at one of the recovery centers that he owns in Massachusetts. He's a millionaire. It was a wild person. But anyway, he sued us. We won. We made a podcast about him. But the tactic that we use, the journalism tactic that we used, I don't mean me, but like that they used to put the story out, is that they did a print story about him months before the podcast came out. And the print story was designed to elicit tips. It didn't say, contact us if you have tips, blah, 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 blah. But because of the way stories like this go, when someone is a lunatic, other people tend to come forward and say, oh my God, this happened to me too with this person. And it totally worked. A bunch of other women came forward as a result of the story. So this is, I bet, what's happening. People are just contacting him. And it's like, in this little sphere of the internet here, you have like, the extended Karen Reed universe, as I like to call it, where it's like loyalties shift, blah, 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 blah. For a tiny little moment, Lindsay Stacchini was probably seen by some people wrongly as a hero for outing Paul O'Keefe as being gross or whatever, right? So she probably developed relationships with people along those lines.
That's what she wanted.
Right. And at some point she turned on Turtleboy. She was pissed that he actually printed the article instead of just talking about her on a stream, which is what she wanted because she thought that would be less searchable or whatever. And so she probably made friends with people at that point who were also anti-Turtleboy. So she's made these probably little pockets of inroads with different groups of people along the way. And she's probably sent them communications corroborating a bunch of this. And some of them are probably now realize she's a lunatic. And they're like, here's some text I have with her too, where she says
so that leads right into the next thing that came up in this second filing. On January 3rd, 2026, after falling out with a confidant, Stacchini threatened the individual to keep quiet or risk, quote, a witness intimidation charge, unquote. The defense argued that this threat constitutes indictable criminal coercion under New Jersey law. And they are demanding the evidence showing Stacchini engaged in criminal acts or contradicted her statements about preventing Paul O'Keefe from testifying. That sounds like it came directly from Paul O'Keefe. And then also the very last thing in this last filing was the Aiden is noting that during grand jury proceedings, Chief Assistant Prosecutor Erica Haleko presented materially inaccurate and misleading leading questions to Sergeant Levy regarding Aiden's online comments. The defense explicitly notes that the prejudicial impact of misleading the grand jury with edited content will be the subject of an upcoming motion to dismiss the indictment. And so basically, pursuant to New Jersey rules, prosecutors are required to furnish discovery within 3 business days. The defense requests immediate and prompt response to these discovery demands. And so that all outstanding issues can be resolved before or addressed at Aiden's scheduled September 23rd arraignment.
Can you imagine like this was a compromise mission, right? This was the mission was get something bad on Paul so that I can insert myself into this story. So I could be a part of the whole Karen Reed thing. Or insert and she says in one of these texts that she did it so he wouldn't testify because he wouldn't be asked about it or whatever, right? I'm sure she didn't say to him, don't testify or else I'll do whatever. But she said it because she was like, I knew if this happened to him, he wouldn't testify. So, it's lunatickery. It's absolute lunatickery. This is a great, example of this whole thing where parasocial relationships. I mean, we tend to sort of cheekily say like, Aiden, why are all these crazy women attracted to you? XYZ. He is involved in telling stories that sort of naturally get people to want to become a character in the story.
Yes.
And he will, take somebody who on their face seems like a lunatic seriously because he's gotten good stories like that in the past, right? Where somebody went to the Globe, they said no. They went to so-and-so, they said no. He reported on the Eric Spofford thing before NHPR did because somebody came to him. Yes, went to rehab 20 years ago with Spofford. Wasn't surprised to learn what happened. You're not the first person to say something like that if you listen to the podcast. Listen to the 13th Step, everybody. It's really good. And donate money to NHPR. Bear
And
Brook
Bear
was also
Brook.
very good. Very good. Yes. I was tangentially involved in both of those. Yeah, people want to be stars and they'll do anything to do it. And some people see, because Turtleboy Aiden is so accessible,
Yeah.
because he will respond to your DM on Twitter or whatever. They see him as a road to that. And the kind of person who thinks that way, like, I just want to get in front of people and people know who I am and play, that kind of person is sometimes inherently a lunatic. So I think this is why he has so many lunatics in his life. I mean, Meredith wrote to him when he was in jail and married. He was captured.
Jess Machado.
Jess Machado also wrote to him when he was in jail. He was captured. He was a captive audience, literally.
Now, we're not saying that everybody who writes to a prisoner is a lunatic. But the context of those people that contacted Aiden when he was in prison, that's the part that I would.
There's a tremendous power imbalance. Somebody
Yes.
who writes to somebody in prison with the intent of starting a romantic relationship, there's an
Yes.
inherent power imbalance there, and it's wrong. It is
Yes.
wrong.
Yes.
Of course there are people who meet when they're in prison and whatever things develop or whatever, but the kind of person who contacts an inmate
Yes.
for the express purpose of starting a relationship with them, that is wrong. It is wrong, because you have a power imbalance there. You have somebody who's literally not free and whose head is completely now shaped by the fact that they are not free.
Yes.
And I think that to some extent, he still has that, like, fight or flight kind of like vigilant response going on, which makes him vulnerable to even a whole different set of people. And sometimes he is too trusting. I can tell you, I will not tell you any of the substance, but I can tell you there have been many times where I've talked to him or he's written to me or whatever. And I've personally thought to myself, if I were him, I would not be sharing this with me. But I am very trustworthy and I have my vault. So,
I think he's trusting of people. I would agree with that. But he's also a dude who likes pretty ladies. And some of those pretty ladies are nutbags.
He also, he makes himself vulnerable. He wears his heart on his sleeve. And he also makes a lot of tactical errors. I don't think he would disagree with that. He makes tactical errors thinking, if I share this with this person, it will go along this path or whatever. And sometimes he's wrong about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that he knows with me, if he shares something with me, if I'm interested in talking about it, I'll look into it and report it out myself. Like the Stacchini stuff, I went on like a dive. I was like, I looked at the New Jersey databases. I looked for her obituaries mentioning her. I looked for wedding announcements mentioning her. I found her wedding announcement to her husband. I found all this stuff. And it was very clear to me that she had fabricated all these stories about herself. So I'm comfortable saying that she fabricated them factually, because I've seen it for myself.
Well, and we have legal documents that have come with receipts that are backing all that up. And I'm like, can we focus, people? Why do we have to have all these like side challenges? Like all these like,
but it's fun to talk about.
Shit.
I'm not going to say it's not fun to talk about, because it is.
I know, but like at the end of the day, I feel like what we end up talking about is the lunatic periphery of all of this, which is fascinating from a media perspective.
I have a case to make that the lunatic periphery is actually a huge part of the whole Karen Reed story.
Yes.
It's a huge part of it, because the online culture that developed around the story begot that, but also the one story that nobody has gotten right except for Vanity Fair and limited other people. I'm talking about like no major media outlet has gotten right.
Not Gretchen Voss. She didn't get it right.
Is the disinformation campaign around the McAlberts. Like Gretchen Voss wrote the bizarro version of that story, right? But like Kate Peter is a lunatic, like an absolute freaking lunatic who has done horrible real life things. Horrible real life things, not just against Turtleboy, just like in life.
Yes.
Generally. And who has been picked to be like the sword and shield of people who are in the middle of a murder cover-up. Yeah. Like there's lunatickery there. So and there's a lot of gossip stuff around there too, who she aligns with and how and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that actually is a big part of the story, in my opinion.
Yeah. Thanks for the $7 Canadian, Joy. Is double gift bagging a euphemism for something? Yes. That's why I said it.
Oh.
I was like, he double gift bag them. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Thank you so much for the $7 Canadian. If you feel like tipping us, please do. We do a lot of work on this show. And the tips are lovely because YouTube doesn't take 30% from us for those. So, and also I said this the other day, anybody who sends us tips through Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal, which are listed at the top of the screen in the chat, and the QR code is up there for the Venmo, I will definitely read out your comments for the tips, unless you ask me right at the top not to. So I guess, what is that? What does Turtleboy call that?
Turtle chat.
Turtle chats. This is not Turtle chats, but
Jolene calls them JoJo chats.
Yeah. Oh, and I was going to say, speaking of Jolene, Mel is our resident expert on straight culture. See, Lady Harlot's really funny. I love her.
See, it's good to like look at, but you're like an anthropologist looking at it from the outside and studying.
Yes, I actually am. I mean, I know enough about Aiden, and I've talked to him enough times to know that he is bowled over by beauty. He just can't believe that somebody could do something, or he doesn't even think about it.
Do you know why?
He thinks with his dick.
No.
Oh.
So Aiden is now a very, I'd say a slightly above average, very fit guy in his mid-40s, like prime of his life, right? Yep. He's an online persona, hundreds of thousands of fans, indisputable. Yep. He was a theater kid who like played the piano and like did a bunch of nerdy stuff when he was a kid, right? So just sort of like how nerd culture has taken over the world, like a lot of these like tech bro dudes were like, absolutely nobody talked to them when they were teenagers. Like I'm not saying nobody talked. I'm sure Aiden was a popular and normal kid, but I'm also, it's probably true that he didn't grow up thinking that like women would be mailing their panties to him and shit. Like, so, you know, it's probably like still much a very overwhelming, like sensory experience. Like, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, when you were talking earlier about like the lunatic fringe or the lunatic periphery or whatever it might be, I mean, Jolene, she's a creator who roasts Big Brother and big shows and things like that. The fact that she's treating this like another reality show,
it is
like the perfect example of the lunatic fringe. And the other thing I wanted to say to you is I would like to do a members only. We call it our pop culture. Doesn't really matter. Do you remember when we did the forbidden fruit?
Yes.
The forbidden one.
Our version of the petty. Yes.
That was so much fun. I want to do another petty stream basically on Lauren Matthias. I finally dug into the case this week and I am disgusted and I need to talk about it. I talked about it briefly on one of the streams earlier this week. Because I don't know if you've caught up to the latest news, but her producer Grayson.
Yeah, I followed this completely from vacation.
Okay, well, you know what? I need to dig into this because someone in the chat the other day, while I was talking about it, they were like, "You realize Grayson's brother died back in June, right?"
No,
Dizzy
that's
said
not
it.
true. That's not true.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
I have to verify this though.
I'm sure. I am sure he died. It was in the news. It was in the news. He died.
Okay.
Don't go there. Yeah, he died.
Okay.
But the way it was handled was abhorrent. Did you see Christina's interview with Turtleboy?
Yeah, I did. So that's why I want to like talk about it because of Christina's interview and because Jolene was talking about it, I'm like, okay. And so I started looking into it and now I have to talk about it, but I would feel more comfortable doing it as a members only.
Lauren Matthias is a ghoul. The way that she's been covering the
I'm interested in her husband though. Also
a ghoul.
And the reason why I started paying attention was like anyone who's hugging it out with Jess Machado out in front of that courthouse for Lindsay Clancy needs to be examined.
I love that she had texted Turtleboy before the Clancy trial started. Trying to cozy up to him, being like, I have a sense of humor. I can't wait to meet you if you come to the trial. He never responded, which was the right thing to do. But like,
yes,
she believes she can flirt her way out of anything. That's what she believes. Okay,
but how about the idea that she did that live about Grayson's brother in order to get attention off of Turtleboy's interview with Christina, which was happening later that night?
I don't think that's true. I think that, I mean, you can't time, but she did use Grayson's brother's death to try to get people to not engage.
She was marketing in the middle of it.
Correct. And she also didn't lead with it. She talked about Clancy stuff for like 10 minutes and then was like,
I know.
And then she did this thing. Okay, we'll get into it.
Okay, we can't. Okay, so that's what I want to do. Yeah, of course.
I would never speak for you. I would never say this horrible thing happened to Mel, but the way we get through things is that we go to work. We do this. It's like you're her fucking boss. Oh, sorry. You're her boss.
You can say fucking because we're 2 hours in.
You're her boss. To say that is to take away her, like if you say to her, do you want to fly home or would you feel a lot better if you just stayed at work? Like that's how I am. I know working helps me get through. Will working help you get through too? This is her boss. This is her. She's much more, and I'm not saying this is what happened, but if it is what happened, she's much more likely to have said yes if it was
and the age difference. So Matthias being in her 40s and Grayson being in her 20s, like I don't remember who said it. If it was, I don't know. Who
looks older than that. She looks older than that, in my opinion.
Well,
I know she's in her 40s, but she's done stuff to her face that makes her look older.
I don't know if it was Jolene who said it or Aiden who said it. Somebody used the word grooming. And I know that most people have the connotation, like grooming is associated with like,
essay,
PDF file, all that stuff. I think that is the perfect way to explain what Lauren Matthias does. And this also 1977 Felicia, this Annie Elise connection is fascinating to me. So Grayson used to work for Annie Elise and Lauren Matthias used scripts previously read by Annie. Nuts.
Can we watch when we do our thing about Lauren? We have to watch some of her. You have to, if you haven't watched any of her videos covering.
Oh, I have. I went on a deep dive.
What a ghoul. And then the whole court stood up when the judge came in. Yeah, no shit. Not everything is a breathless drama, lady. Like she's a disaster.
Anyway, that's what I'd like to do the next one on.
Okay,
maybe we could do it before you leave. I don't know because it's like on
we
the
could
brain.
When we get off of this call, when we get off of this live, we're going to talk for 5 minutes about a few things.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Amy Denny, for becoming a member. We appreciate our members.
Thanks, Amy. We'll see you tonight, hopefully. Oh no, that can't be true. I forgot Bob Mata's in the Lindsay clan is in Boston right now.
Yeah, I think she might be sick. I mean, I don't think she was going to go anyway. But watching some of her stream from last night, she appeared to be sick. That being said, I don't think she was going to go anyway. I think it's too much work.
Yes, that one. Anyway, okay. So we have lots to talk about. I am going to be covering, there's a huge day in testimony today for Lindsay Clancy. I will be doing the recap of that tomorrow. I don't know if Rebecca will be on with me or not, but we will figure that out and let you all know. But today, the cross-examination of Dr. Jennifer Tufts is happening, and Reddington is probably going to be coming in hot. And based on the way that did you see any of that testimony, Rebecca, with Jennifer Tufts? Did you see what happened when he objected?
Yes.
Did you see her glare and hold it?
Yes.
And then come back. I'm like, what is this little demon going to do today? Like, what's going
She's
to
also
happen?
being sued. So she's like,
She's only been a psychiatrist for less than 4 years. She's treated Lindsay Clancy in 23.
I'm just excited that Mata and Lauren Matthias get to be in the same room.
Yeah, I am also excited that Bob Mata is probably going to tell us a little bit more about the jury. I'd like to know more about that.
If you want really thoughtful coverage of the case, that does get into more detail. The Matas are doing a great job. So is
Sam Benito.
And so is Melanie Little. So that's not what we're doing here. That's not what Mel's doing here. She's not doing the legal real-time reaction. She's giving recaps that trauma light recaps.
I'm trying to take most of the trauma out of it.
Trauma-free recaps.
The mental health.
I'm telling you got to put that in the title so people understand that what you're doing is different. That's my opinion.
I will take your advice because you're really good at this. Did you have something you wanted to show the class?
I just wanted to do a little palate cleanser at the end of the stream. Can we do that?
Mm-hmm.
Can we just take a minute to watch this panda eat this piece of bamboo, which he's going
I like it when they fall off of things and then they're just like, oh, I fell off of something.
I like it when they fall off of things. Look at him just like eating this. This is all they do all day is eat.
That and like roll around and get picked up and dragged back and then they drag.
I believe he falls off of something later in this video. Hold on.
Let's watch him fall off something. It's my favorite.
Will he fall off? Will he fall
off? My favorite is every time they fall off of something, they get so surprised. Like, how'd that happen? It happens every 5 minutes, Panda.
Oh, have you seen like the baby pandas when in China where they have like the panda sanctuaries and then
Look at him. I want one.
And for those of you who think that he's in some sort of, they have a huge outdoor enclosure that's attached to these indoor spaces, so they can come in and out as they please. This panda is not like in a sad cage. The pandas at the Washington Zoo the National Zoo are very well cared for, but I'm sure it's hot, and I'm sure that they're just like, the best is when it snows and they roll down the hills. Boy. That's right. Very precious boy.
Precious boy. All right. I appreciate y'all so much. Don't forget to become a member if you want to come to the Crossroads tonight. Please send us tips. It helps keep the lights on and keeps this moving forward. We're almost at 11,000 subscribers. So like, subscribe, do all the things.
Share.
Please share. Hype, that helps us out too. And Rebecca, I'm so glad you're back. I'll have you for a couple of days, and then we'll.
Thanks for having me, Mel. Thanks for having me.
I'll have you for a couple of days. All right. Love you all so much, and we will catch you later tonight at 5 o'clock.
Yep.
Bye. Good morning, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie, allegedly. I'm Smile.
Happy Monday, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie. Happy gay summer, Mel.
Happy hump day, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
I'm not humping anybody. I'm Rebecca Lavoie.
Happy Saturday, everybody. I am Mel Barrett. Oh, no.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie, and my mic is muted.
Good morning, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie, and that's Briscoe.
And welcome to Something's Off, a true crime podcast where we swat the haters aside with our astute takes and humor and joy. And
the joylessness
I don't give
of those
a fucking
people.
Hags.
You hear it first in the break in the story. One little crack and the whole thing gets wary. A witness swears but the timeline bends. A smile too smooth and the trail just ends. Mel Barrett says, hold up, look again. Rebecca Lavoie follows every thread. If it feels too neat, then it's not the truth. There's a shadow line running through the room. Something's off, something's off. You can feel it in the bones. Something's off, something's off. When the facts won't come home. Something's off, something's off. And the case won't stay in place. Something's off. We're the ones who chase.
This is literally because it's 100. It's been happening for the past day.
Oh, dear God. Everywhere's a hot spot when Dr. Wolf is on the TV. Am I right? Everywhere's a hot spot when Dr. Wolf is on the TV. I'm sorry. This is very funny.
What are you laughing about?
Because you're just sitting there waiting for the video to start.
I was listening this whole time. You
listening to what? You're not playing anything, and now you're frozen. God, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Let me text Mel. Let me call Mel real quick. I'm gonna call Mel.
No, I'm not answering your call. I'm not doing it.
I don't think.
Why is it? Oh, Jesus.
Maybe go back on the Wi-Fi.
I am back on the Wi-Fi. Can you hear me now? Can we do the show now? Should we do the show now? Rebecca? Rebecca, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Internet. Hello.
Hello? Hello, worldwide interwebs. Can you hear me? Let's do this. I have to look at my phone over here.
We're gonna go members only.
Something's off. We're the ones who chase. Yeah, we're the ones who chase. Wait, did that witness just blink 3 times? Something's off.